Does red eye show up in all of your late night pictures? Believe it or not, there are ways to take great photographs of your friends having fun at parties without turning them into red-eyed monsters. On today's show, I'll show you how to use your camera to make your red-eyed problems disappear, and if all else fails, how to eliminate it using your computer when you get home. Rid your pictures of red eye, coming up on The Whole Picture. Welcome to The Whole Picture. I'm ERIN Manning. You know, no one really likes it, but I bet you find it in a lot of your photographs. I'm talking about red eye. You know, that irritating effect that occurs when you take pictures of your friends and they all look like vampires with glowing red eyes. Well, red eye often occurs in low light situations. That's because your pupils have to open up and dilate to adjust to the darker light. Now think about all the pictures you've taken at parties, say of your child's play or a nighttime football game. These are all great examples of low light shooting conditions. And whenever you use your on-camera flash, red eye's bound to happen. Now, point and shoot cameras are especially susceptible to this red eye because the flash is located so close to the lens. So if you're to take a picture like this, the flash is going to bounce right off the back of your subject's retina and create that horrible red glow. Now, digital cameras are getting better and better, and they often provide functions that will help reduce that red eye. But more importantly, there are things you can do as a photographer that help you get rid of red eye altogether. Now, here's a picture I took of my friend Greg over the holidays. I wanted to make sure I captured the mood of the room with the Christmas tree lights and the candles, yet still illuminated his face so I could see his eyes. So I used my point and shoot camera, and with a little diffusion filter over the flash, I experimented, and I think it turned out pretty well. Well, today I'm going to show you how to take great party photographs without making your friends look like sci-fi characters. I'll show you how to eliminate that red eye and deal with low light situations. Today I'm joining one of my students, Rachel STOWERS.
Hi.
And she's going to be bringing me to one of her friends' birthday dinner parties. Now, Rachel, you emailed me this picture a little bit earlier today, and I can see where this is a classic example of red eye.
It's a great picture. They all smile great and they look beautiful, but the red eye just ruined it.
You're right. Yeah, they have great energy. They're beautiful girls, but that red eye is really distracting.
Yeah.
Well, typically you would just bring up the lights, but it's not always so practical in a party situation.
No, and it'll probably ruin the party.
Well, don't worry. Today I'll teach you some techniques that will help you eliminate all that red eye at all of your parties.
Okay, thank you.
So first, I'll start by showing you that red eye reduction feature on your camera. Now, most cameras have them, and I'll show you how to use it.
Okay.
Next, I'll show you about the external flash, just like the pros use. Okay, and that way you can get the flash further away from the lens on the camera and get rid of that red eye.
All right.
Then I'll show you how to use the flash and manipulate it so you're not shooting it directly into your friend's eyes. You're going to be bouncing it. We call that bounce flash.
Didn't even know that existed.
It does. So after we bounce the flash, we'll come back here to the studio, download all the pictures onto the computer, and just by using computer software, I'll show you how we can also get rid of red eye.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay, so we'll get rid of all the red eye. Ready to head out to the party?
Are you ready to head out to the party?
I think so, but first, let me show you a little bit about the external flash. Okay, this is it.
Wow.
It's adjustable, so we can point the light pretty much any direction. And this is a bracket because most point and shoot cameras don't have what's called a hot shoe. That's what this flash would typically connect to. So we're going to use this extender here and attach it that way. This flash will adjust all sorts of directions. And we also have the sensor here in the front, and that's what detects the flash from your camera.
Wow, that's really cool.
Okay, it is. So we're going to bring this, grab your camera.
All right.
And let's head out.
Okay.
Up next, we'll put on our party clothes and get ready to not paint the town red. I'll show you how to get the red out of your party pictures, and your friends will see a flashier side of you. Coming up on The Whole Picture. Welcome back to The Whole Picture. What do you get when you mix a festive celebration, low lighting, and a bright flash together? Pictures that will have your friends seeing red. Rachel STOWERS is tackling one of photography's age-old problems, red eye. We've joined her friends at a friend's birthday party to show them how to get the red out.
Happy birthday, Camille. Sorry we're late.
Hey!
This is my friend ERIN Manning, and she's going to help us take some pictures of our party.
Hi! Nice to meet you. You all look so pretty in your dresses.
Thank you.
Perfect for the party. Now, Rachel, I think this is a great opportunity to start taking pictures and get into our first lesson.
Okay.
Okay? Let's talk about red eye.
Oh my gosh, it's in all my pictures. I can't seem to get rid of it.
Well, it happens a lot, and it's due to low light, like in this kitchen, and also because the flash on your camera is located close to the lens.
Oh.
So I'll explain a little bit about this. What happens is when you're in a room with low light, like this, your pupils dilate to let in more light so you can see better, and that exposes your retina. So what happens when you take the picture? The flash hits your subject's eyes and reflects their retina right back into your camera.
Okay, I had no idea.
Well, that's what creates red eye. Okay. So anytime you're in a room with low light and your flash is located close to your lens, red eye is inevitable.
Well, how do you get rid of it?
Good question. On most digital cameras, there's a feature called red eye reduction, and you just navigate here on the menu to check it out. Here it is. So what happens is when you turn the red eye reduction on, the camera will send out a pre-flash or a beam of light that goes off first, like that, right before the actual picture's taken. Now, if we had it turned off and we were taking the picture, we'd only see one flash that happens right when the picture's taken.
That probably happens every single time I take a picture.
Well, it happens to a lot of people. So basically, what happens here is we need to turn on the red eye.
Okay.
And we'll start taking some pictures of your friends. The red eye reduction feature on your camera can help reduce red eye, but it's hardly foolproof. While the pre-flash is designed to reduce the size of the pupils, oftentimes it forces your subjects to blink. So when the actual flash goes off, you get closed eyes instead of red ones. Instead of a pre-flash, other cameras shine a bright light into your subject's eyes moments before the actual flash goes off, often with the same result. It can also alert your subject that you're about to take the picture, and if it's a candid, it can spoil the surprise. The reason the red eye reduction feature isn't foolproof depends on your subject. Some pupils react slower than others, and they may still be dilated by the time the flash fires. A good exercise is to take some pictures with the red eye reduction feature on and others with it off. Test your camera and the scenario to find what gives you the best results. While red eye reduction features are handy, they may not do the trick altogether.
Hey!
Hey! This lasagna looks really good. Who made it?
Thanks, I did.
It
looks excellent, Camille.
Oh, you know, Rachel, one thing I forgot to tell you about the red eye reduction.
Yeah?
There's a problem with it. And that is, whenever it goes off, it sends out that pre-flash, right?
Yeah.
That tells everyone, hey, I'm about to take the picture. And you might lose that spontaneous expression you're looking for.
Yeah, and the pictures might look kind of cheesy, too.
True. Now, one solution might be is just turn off the flash on the camera and turn up the lights in the room. But that might not be so practical.
Yeah, and the lighting in this room isn't that great anyway.
Well, here's another solution. It's called an external slave flash. Now, it's external because it's not part of the camera, and it's called a slave flash because it basically will do anything the camera's internal flash tells it to do.
Oh, that's cool.
So what it does is because this is located further away from the lens, it's going to eliminate the red eye.
Okay.
Now, I've gone ahead and mounted the flash onto this bracket, and the bracket easily mounts on the bottom of the camera. Now, one other thing, you want to make sure that the flash on the camera isn't hitting your subject's eyes. So what I did is brought some wax paper, really anything opaque, to just tape over the flash on the camera like that. And just make sure you're not covering up any other sensors, and also make sure you don't have your hand over this, because this is how this triggers the slave.
Oh,
so kind of hold it like that.
Okay.
So I'll turn on the camera, and why don't you give it a try? External slave flashes are a great accessory to have when shooting nighttime pictures or whenever you're dealing with low light. They're small, self-contained battery-operated units, so it's important to note, always carry extra batteries in your camera bag so you don't lose that perfect shot due to loss of power. some slave flashes will work only if the red eye reduction feature for your camera is turned off, while others work in conjunction with the pre-flash. The professionals try to use slave flashes that work when the pre-flash is turned off, so you don't ruin the spontaneity of your candids. Some models require you to set the slave flash according to how many flashes or pre-flashes your camera fires. Always refer to the owner's manual to see how your model works. Also, do your homework and make sure the slave flash you purchase will work with your particular camera. For information on digital slave flashes and how they work, just log on to our website at DIYnetwork.com. Coming up, now that Rachel has a flashier camera, will her friends bounce off the walls? That's next on The Whole Picture. Welcome back to The Whole Picture. A birthday party for a friend is the perfect time to pull out your digital camera and snap some photos. But oftentimes low light and a bright flash make for a not-so-fabulous combination. So today I'm giving Rachel Stowers a lesson on how to use her flash to reduce red eye. I'm ERIN Manning, and I'm teaching Rachel Stowers how to get rid of red eye in her pictures. Now, Rachel, does using this external slave flash make more sense now?
Yes, definitely. My pictures look so much better.
Good. Now, this is a beautiful birthday cake and a great opportunity to take some pictures because we have this external slave flash, the low light, and the birthday candles.
Okay.
Now, remember how we talked about using the external flash to get a little bit further away from the lens on your camera?
Yeah.
Well, there's another technique to eliminate red eye, and that's called bounce flash.
Well, what does bounce do?
Well, bounce actually is exactly what it does. So what happens is when we use this slave flash, we can turn it up like this to hit your ceiling, and looking around I see your ceiling is white, which is perfect for this technique.
Good.
So when the slave flash goes off, the bounce light hits the ceiling and travels down and softly illuminates everyone. It's just so much prettier.
Yeah, it sounds beautiful.
It's great. So the bounce flash is a wonderful thing to use if you want to take it off of your bracket and get it even further away from the lens.
Okay.
So let's give it a try and take a picture of Camille blowing out her candles.
All right.
Turn on the camera here. And let's take a picture. Camille, 1, 2, blow out those candles. Using a bounce flash typically works best with lower ceilings and smaller rooms, so the light will not have as far to travel. If you're dealing with vaulted ceilings or really large rooms, chances are the bounce will lose its bounce. It's also important to note the color of the walls and ceilings in the room. If they're any other color than white, that's exactly the color that will reflect back down on your subjects. Green walls will cast a green spell, yellow walls will make everyone look yellow, and so on. So remember, a bounce flash works best if you have a white ceiling or wall. You can also use a small piece of white paper if you don't have the correct colored walls to work with. Simply wrap the paper around the flash and use that white to bounce the light and reflect back down on your subject. This technique may be a little awkward for parties, but it's an option. Using a bounce flash may not always be the answer, especially if you don't have anything white to work with, but it's another great tip for eliminating red eye. Thank you for the party. I had such a great time. Now, I'm going to leave the flash here, so keep taking pictures, and I'll meet you at my studio tomorrow.
Okay, thank you so much,
Okay,
Erin.
thank you.
Bye.
Now it's time to see if Rachel's pictures turned her friends into friendly revelers or red-eyed wonders. That's next on The Whole Picture. Welcome back to The Whole Picture. Red eyes pop up in a lot of pictures, especially when you're dealing with low light. Rachel is learning to use her flash to fix the problem and use red eye reducing features on her camera that will help keep the red out. After taking some great photos of her friends, we've headed back to my studio to find out what's looking back at us once we print the pictures out. If the red's still there, we'll turn to the magic of computer software to fix any lingering problems. I had so much fun at that party last night.
I'm glad you did. Thank you so much for all your help with the pictures.
Oh, you're welcome. Did you take a lot of pictures after I left?
Yes, I hope they turned out well, though.
I think they did. I went ahead and downloaded them on the computer. Let's click through and see what you did.
I'm not seeing them. All right. This is the one we took with the bounce flash.
I like that. That looks
love
good.
It. The lighting's great.
Yeah. Good expression, too.
Yeah. Oh, I love that one.
Very nice.
Now that one's beautiful.
I like that, too.
I love that one, but they still have red eye.
You're right, they do, but you know what? We can get rid of that.
Okay.
Really easy to do. Now, first of all, we use this image editing program to get rid of it, and you can use this on any computer, and even other image editing programs are going to have some of the same functions, so you can still do this at home.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Now let's go ahead and start by coming over here, but before we do that, let's do a save as, and that way we'll work on a copy and archive this as the original.
Okay.
Just in case. So come up here to the menu bar, click on File, roll down to Save As, and just save it under a little bit different name. You might put like a different number after that, so we know it's a different file. And just click Save. Okay, and then click OK. Now we're working on the copy, so no matter what happens, we still have our original. All right, now let's start over here on the toolbar and click on the zoom tool.
All right.
Okay, and we'll use this to enlarge the photograph so we can really see her pupils up close and work on them. Just draw a box right around her face, and that will enlarge her face, and we can see the pupils.
Okay.
That's pretty good. Now up here, this is called a contextual text menu, and whenever you're clicked on a certain tool, this menu will pop up. So right now we're looking at zoom and resize. That's for the zoom tool. We want to click on the red eye feature right here.
All right.
Click on that. Now this changes. We're seeing pupil size and darken amount. Now the pupil size means that's the percentage of the pupil we're going to cover when we click on it. So I'm thinking 23%, maybe just a little less than that, maybe like 19. You have to play around with it, but I happen to know that's about the right size. Okay. Now you've adjusted that. Now the darken amount is at 50%, and that just means there's going to be a little transparency to it, so it won't just look like a big black dot in the middle of their eye. So go ahead now and bring your cursor right over the pupil in her eye.
All right.
And just click once.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That just totally fixes that up.
Poof, it's gone. No more red eye. Go ahead and do the others. See how fast that is?
Wow, that's really fast.
Okay, and then just scoot over here by sliding the slider bar over. And we'll work on your other friend's eyes.
Oh, this just makes it look so much better.
Okay, that looks great. Let's save it by going up here to File, Save.
Okay.
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 Now let's print it out. Just come up here to File, Print. And roll down to Print. There you go. Now we have a print dialog box.
That looks great.
Okay, so our print size is up here. We want to make it, fit on the page. Just click the drop-down menu and roll down to Fit on Page. Just want to make sure nothing's hanging over. Okay, now it's showing us this is how it's going to print out, which is okay if you want a border beneath it and above it, but let's go ahead and click down here on Page Setup. And now we can choose which way we want to set it up. Right now it's going to print portrait. Let's print it landscape. Just select landscape. There you go. Now click OK. And this shows us how it's going to print out.
That looks a lot better.
Go ahead and click Print. And OK. And it's off to the printer.
Okay.
If you'd like to learn more about eliminating red eye or any of the techniques you saw here today, just log on to our website at DIYnetwork.com. And be sure to check out the rest of Rachel's photos we're going to post there too. Now Rachel, it's time to take a look at the final photograph.
Oh, that looks great.
It does, and you know what?
There's no red eye.
You're right. You did a great job. Do you feel like you learned a lot today?
I learned a whole lot, and I loved working with the external flash. Definitely use that a lot more.
Oh, that's good. It was great working with you, and remember, always bring your camera with you, because the more pictures you take, the better you get.
Well, thanks for all your help.
You're so welcome. I hope you'll use what you learned today, and hopefully none of your pictures will ever have red eye again. Join me next time on The Whole Picture. I think we can work on this one too.